answer and see that it is resolved. So this
Yes,
is
sure, sir, sure.
yeah, this is one of the I would say that the pilot webinar series. We talked about the futuristic education. Myself, Maheshwar Chaitanya, I am from Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham University, ranked 5th in the country. And we have been discussing, myself and Devyani ma'am of Edudevs, she is the founder and CEO. We keep discussing about how we can provide some valuable information, insights into the education system, so that a teacher can improve individually, not from a bigger perspective, but we tried to bring in more and more teachers, more and more principals in a closed discussion. We don't want large numbers. So the topic we have kept is futuristic education. And we have been doing this for the past 6 to 7 months. And I believe this is something like 18th edition of such a webinar. So when you look at the term, the title, futuristic education, we always talk about what is about to happen from the technological perspective, or how the things are changing in the educational space, especially with the pandemic lockdown, how the teachers have been struggling a lot, principals have been struggling a lot to make sure that the delivery of the content is not compromised. But then we thought we should also have a totally different, or the most what is the important topic of the time from the student perspective, from the teacher's perspective, and we got the topic that is common university entrance test. So I am really delighted to welcome the esteemed panelists here. Shalini ma'am from Dyal Singh Public School, Karnal, Pooja ma'am from Pratap Public School, and Mohan sir from JPS Academy School. I don't want to talk more about the activities and other things, but straight to the point. A common entrance test is definitely a game changer, especially in a country like India, where we have the second largest education system. So how is this going to impact? Because I myself, I'm an admission director in the university. We always talk about the performance of the students, top rankers, the best students who scored, very good marks in their +2 exams, or PCM, PCB, or in humanities or arts, commerce. Ultimately, what is important? Is that a barrier when you talk about entrance test? Is that a barrier, or is cutoff a barrier? Or what is the best solution for an individual student, a student who is looking for higher education, to pursue higher education in one of the esteemed institutions, let it be private sector, let it be public sector, but he is ultimately looking for a bright career. So now the government has introduced CUET for admissions to almost all the central universities. So this is one of the important changes that has happened after NEP 2020. So we will have a couple of rounds in this discussion, and please feel free to ask the questions, my dear participants, because I want this to be an informal one, not totally a formal kind of discussion. So we will debate on a lot of topics, which one is bad, which one is good, which one has pros and cons, etc. So basically, this is as Sanjeev Sanyal, one of the economists, he says that this is a wake-up call. Why? Because we are moving from the cutoff thinking process to an entrance test and rank. I have seen a lot of students talking about cutoff, and there are a lot of news articles. If you look at DU admissions or Sriram College of Commerce admissions, they say that you need 99%, 99%, 98%. So what happens for a student who aims to join such an institution but fails to join in spite of having a higher mark or a higher percentage in PCM or +2? So I would like to go to all three of you. I would request you, what does it make sense? How does it make sense? Whether the model of cutoff, is it going to help the students? What are the impacts? Is it a positive impact or is it a negative impact? So let me start with Shalini ma'am.
Yes, sir. I believe this would be a positive impact, because if you see that percentage cutoff is giving children a lot of stress. Not even the children, even the principals, teachers too. We want our children to have 98, 99, state topper, country topper. What is it doing? It is like creating a challenge for child to do rote learning. They are not gaining any knowledge. But if there is an entrance test, children would start learning on their own. They would forget the coaching centers who are making them just to run in the race, where the victory is for the person who's getting the maximum of marks. So I believe the positive impact of this situation is that children are actually going to learn things. They are going to see where they want to lead themselves. Now everybody wants to become an engineer and do an MBA because it is the highest paid job. The paradigm is shifting towards the services now, and then they want to go to other countries because they have much more better system than ours. I believe this is going to be actually helping the students to concentrate on improving their learning. And we will be in sync with the NEP 2020 with this entrance, as children would emphasize more on building their own knowledge and concepts rather than just grasping things which are not even relevant.
So you are saying that the cutoff system has to be abolished, or we have to move away from the cutoff system, is it?
I think totally giving it away is not a good idea. But the way it is, like for universities like BU and, as you said, SSRC, Shri Ram College, it is a dream for every child, but only a few reach out there. So probably they could have a criteria, maybe 60%, 70, 75% as a basic, and then the entrance test would help them to achieve their dream. So I believe we should not totally give away with the system of percentage and stuff, but there should be a limit put to it. Now everybody is trying to grasp marks just because they have to have an entrance in a college. But this entrance test would make them grasp the concept knowledge of the thing. So I believe that we should not totally give away with the marks. The cutoff thing should totally not be given off, but we should have to create a balance out of it.
Okay, so thank you, ma'am. Thank you for opening remarks. So Pooja, ma'am, I would like to request you to throw the lights on this. And secondly, I think Pooja, ma'am, is now missing. Okay, I think there is some issue with the connectivity. So Mohan sir, I hope you are available and you can hear us, right?
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, yes. Sir, I wanted to ask you, see this cutoff system, is it creating any positive impact? And when you bring in an entrance test, and when the students think about joining a dream college, is it going to impact their +2 marks? And they could completely focus on only the entrance test, just like any other JE coaching or NEET coaching, etc. What do you think? Is it positive or is it negative?
Actually, myself, Mohan Singh, first of all, I introduce myself, the principal, JPS Academy, and nice to be here along with you this afternoon. With India top university reaching with a high admission cutoff, even 100%, even you can see in Delhi University, which is a dream college and university of every student. And that is cope up with the other things also, the religion, leniency in the protection of the class 12th marks, and so. But we have to see and check the Indian education system before discussing the positive or negative impact on the student, which in fact affect a lot, impact the student ultimately. I was searching the survey last evening, and I got that in a survey in a all India level, we are having 25 college on the average behind 1 lakh population. Even in Delhi University, we are having 3.5 lakh application behind the 55,000 student. Definitely, it put the student under stress. Now, the private sector, which are 59% of enrollment, they are having something very little flexibility while designing their course curriculum. And that create a lot of problem for the student on their mental and the psychological health. Now the thing is like this: why the student rushing behind the Delhi universities or Banaras Hindu University? Because they are having very high class and high level of infrastructure and faculty. Now, what can be done? And you have seen that from the last 5 or 7 years, our top brain got drained. In my school, from the last 5 or 7 years, I have seen so many top class students drain out from India into the foreign universities. It means a lot of problems existing on the ground level. CUET is introduced, and it will definitely help a average child to compete the extraordinary student, because many times we have seen that if I'm teaching chemistry from the last 25 years in 11th and 12th, and I have seen the student are mugging the NCRT questions and scoring 98 percentage. And even many times I have seen so many students who are extraordinary on the ground level, but not able to cope up with the percentage due to because they are failed to do mug up the things. So I think the government have to see that they have to invest significantly in the universities, in the other universities, so that the quality of the infrastructure and faculty can be improved, and the student will get so many options to get admissions, so-called good universities. So definitely impact on the student health as far as the learning is concerned. And we hope that QET will bring a lot of things for the student in the incoming time.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I just got one point from your answer. The concept of mugging up the topics to clear the exams. Generally, that is very much true. In fact, about what I have seen is the students who come after the entrance examination, they are highly competitive, but sometimes they fail to compete with in the academic system because their mind is completely programmed to cracking the exam or cracking the questions, but they don't really learn things. So my question comes here. uh, See, is it going to towards that scenario, towards that context? Because we have seen a lot of coaching centers for JE and NEET, and do we will we witness almost the same with regard to CUET also?
In this particular matter, yesterday also, because I spent so much time while doing this CUET from the last 1 or 2 days. So one information that I got, that in IIT JEE, we are having one seat available out of 50 students in India, like. And in our graduation level or in the various university, we are having one seat available for 5 students. And moreover, uh, if a student is able to cope up with the NCRT on the ground level, because as a teacher, not as a principal, as a teacher, I have seen that if we are able to cope up on the ground level, because coaching center does not mean that they make the things 100% in favor of the student. No, student have to learn, but this is a psychological factor. If we are able to go on the ground level and the student is able to do the things as per the NCRT, as even the notification given by the in the CUET, that the examination is going to be up to NCERT level. So I don't think that it is going to be 100% necessity for the coaching center, or definitely coaching center will take the advantage of all this system as is their job. But we find that if the school system is going to be strengthen the things, and they have to cope up with the latest version and parameters of COCET, I think it's going to not a problem for the students, particularly to achieve this CUET. I don't think any problem is going to be there for the students.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for your insights, sir, because you are talking from the survey data and from your real experience. So coming to the next round, this question is
I would like
again
to,
to Shalini ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Chaitanya ji, I would like
Yes,
to
yes, yes.
add up, yes, it is going to be like this. You know, the way we have so many centers where we children are trained to crack. You know, they don't know stuff about the CBSE book, but they are able to, because of a lot of practice, they are able to crack up their entrance for engineering and medical. If we have seen such cases, and of course, by and by, we'll see that there are centers which are helping you out for the college entrance test. I
Yeah.
know this is going to come up. This cannot be avoided. But if it is controlled with the percentage of the school boards and with the entrance test together, if we take the consideration, we would be able to bring out something good.
Okay, okay. So again, ma'am, let me enter the next round. See, we have seen the format of CUET, and the test is almost common to all the students, right? So
Yes.
basically, is it the right way of evaluation? Will it be able to provide the opportunities, the best opportunities to all the students? Because I may be passionate about something, but will the test is the test capable enough to test my passion?
See,
Do you think so?
what I believe, if I have understood the pattern of the paper well, I have seen that it is your choice whether you take up a single subject, or you can choose, like in the section 1 there are 13 languages. Okay, you can choose any one, and in the section B there are 20 different languages. Maybe there also you can choose two. So suppose if I'm giving an entrance and I want to specialize in English itself, I'm very clear about it. So I give a test which is only for English. But there are children who could give as long as for 7 hours for all the subjects. Suppose they can take 6 domains, the subjects they are offering. Suppose if a child is doing psychology and he wants to study physics at the same time, the idea and concept seems to be very good about the entrance. The child might not have studied that subject, but he or she is capable of doing maybe psychology or Sanskrit or maybe music at the college level and may be able to qualify that. So I believe the thought process which goes behind this is very good. Now, when it comes to implementation, then we have to see that where we will falter or where the flaws would be there. That we have to check.
But again, ma'am, let me ask you one more thing. See, suppose if somebody wants to join, let us say BSc Agriculture, okay, and somebody wants to join, or I have the second option as biotechnology, or I have second option as microbiology, or zoology or
Okay.
botany, something which is closely with life sciences or in life sciences. So,
Okay.
how much? What is the kind of weightage that is given? What is the importance for my passion there? Is it the equal importance, or what do you think about that?
See, what I feel is that when you are doing an undergraduate course, okay, honestly, what I feel, very few children are very sure what they wanted. Because
Okay.
I have seen people who go across for a course, they are doing
Hello?
I think some
Hello?
technical issues, sir.
Yeah. Now we have only Mohan sir. Mohan sir, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here on.
Yeah, I think both our two panelists are now missing because of some technical problems.
All three are facing the technical problem because I'm not having the video.
I think Pooja ma'am is back now.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Pooja ma'am, are you there?
No,
No,
sir.
but
Pooja
she's-
ma'am is not there, ma'am.
No, I just gave permitted to join. I can see her in the waiting list. So I feel she must be here.
Sir, we are just waiting for her, Pooja ma'am, because if we admitted this, ma'am can't join.
Okay. I can see her in the chat list.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Pooja ma'am is
back.
there.
Yes.
Pooja ma'am is there. Pooja ma'am is here.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for this inconvenience.
It's
I was
okay, it's
very
okay.
much here. I did not have the rights to unmute myself or to have my camera on. So
That's
I'm
okay, ma'am.
sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens because it's all digital.
Yeah.
So machines, we can't trust the machines completely. So it happens. It's fine.
So I think I missed some important discussion.
No. You will never miss because we already have the piece of cake for you. So no, the question here is about the positive and negative impact of the cutoff based learning. So sir was suggesting, saying that moving towards an entrance system is definitely good. And he was also of the opinion that it may have some change because the students usually mug up the topics to pass the exam. So what is your opinion about that?
All right. See, I think we are evaluating two different patterns of assessment here. One, the board cutoffs for the various admission in colleges, various courses in various colleges. I am a product of Lady Shri Ram College. So I know the kind of a rat race which is there. I keep a very close watch on the cutoff for LSR, and it is usually 100% for many of the LSR courses every year. And definitely there is a lot of stress amongst the parents, amongst the students, teachers and principals as well. On the other hand, now that we are switching on to a system of common entrance examination, I understand this rat race will definitely not end here. Now we'll have another rat race starting. Now we'll have another domains and other examinations that we'll be preparing children for. It is definitely required that our students, I mean, that's what we would want our children to get into the bestest of college. So they will have to perform well. Either it is the CBSE examination, which is considered to be the criteria for admission, or it will be any other entrance. Let's not forget what JEE and NEET kind of a pressure the children of sciences, feel, and so do the parents and teachers. So it's going to be the same for the commerce and humanities students as well. Yes, it's too early to say whether it is good, whether it is bad. I feel that a well-designed examination can definitely lead to relieving of stress, can definitely get the child who has the genuine IQ, get into these good colleges. Marks or no marks, there will be some criteria, some merit. There are limited seats, there are limited colleges. So that kind of competition will stay. We can't run away from that. But the merit in the two patterns of assessment, it's too early for us to comment. I think our children are now entering into an era where they feel that fine, this is the way one has to prepare and this is the way one has to enter. Term 1 CBSE was MCQ based, and that was where the children learned the style of studying was not rote learning. They have already tasted the objective type of assessment, and I think they are well prepared to face this kind of an interest as well.
So let me add to the question, ma'am. See, one important thing is how far our teachers are equipped, or do you think that teachers also will have to prepare from a different point of view? Because when I visit the schools, teachers say that the students are preparing for NEET or JEE or any other competitive examination, and they train the students in that way. So, do you think that in the light of the CUET being introduced, even in the sciences, the commerce and arts and humanities, do you think that the teachers will have to think, teachers will have to teach from that point?
See, as much as I have understood of the CUET, we are going to take NCERT as the base. NCERT remains our Bibles even for the CBSE examination. That means if I talk about just the domain part of it, the second section of the CUET, we are completely and entirely taking the NCERT syllabi as the ground of our evaluation, even in CUET. That means syllabus being the same, it is just the assessment pattern which is different. Rather than having long questions, now we'll be having only objective type questions with some kind of a negative marking as well. Even CBSE over the last few years had incorporated this 1-mark objective type paper questions in many of the subjects. That means the teachers are already, the CBSE, at least I can talk about the CBSE's affiliated schools, the teachers are already trained to develop a question bank that includes the 1-mark questions. The students in their classes are already being taught to understand that this is the question or this is the concept which can be asked as an objective type question. I am referring to only humanities because that being my own domain. I'm referring to subjects like political science, history, geography. So we already have equipped ourselves as teachers to understand that this concept can be asked in this pattern of objective question. And so do we teach our students as well. The only difference is that in CBSE, definitely there is no negative marking, and we do bank upon long questions. Ki chalo 6 number ka question hai, 1-2 number to mil hi jayenge. But now we have either a right or a wrong, and if it is a wrong, then -1/4. So that kind of a training is definitely required in probably that's the way I suggest my children attempt a few sample papers and evaluate yourself with the negative marking to train yourselves. But I think all of our teachers, we have we've tested ourselves and proved ourselves over these 2 years of pandemic as well. So CUT and other things are not much big deal for teachers like us.
Okay, great. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for so much for the insight. So, Mohan sir, I have the next very crucial question for you, maybe a critical question. When we talk about the entrance examination, and let us assume that the top colleges are going only with the entrance exam ranks, not the CBSE marks or the +2 marks. Will CUET create a disadvantage in our education system? Or will it fail to achieve whatever it was envisaged for? What do you think? And how will it impact the students and their career?
Dear sir, no doubt the CUET will be the better opportunity for all the students, particularly to those students who possess more understanding of the subject. Earlier, students who scored maximum marks got the admission. But in many cases, it is found that the students are not able to score maximum, as I quote earlier also, despite the student possess deep knowledge of the subject. So I think CUET is going to be a better opportunity for the student. Moreover, in CUET, While selecting the domain subject, student got the edge. Otherwise, whole percentage of 12th were considered for the admissions earlier to this. So it is going to be a better one for the student. CUET, if the student is able to focus consistently, not only because if we see the pattern of final examination in the recent past years, the student, if he or she concentrate in the last days even during the examinations or in the last 1 or 2 months, I think CUET is going to provide the opportunity for a better learning, but a consistent learning, continuous learning. That is a continuous and comprehensive learning. That is going to be the mainstream for a student to cross over this exam. I think so.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So I have same questions for Pooja ma'am. In addition to that, I have one more add-on to that. See, for example, let us say, suppose if the top college like SRCC wants to admit the students based on the CUET rank as well as, or CUET marks as well as the +2 marks, or the subjects in the core subjects in that specific stream. Now, is it better? Is it good to go with just the entrance rank, or you club with the +2 marks also, and have a criteria like you must score like 70% or 75% in +2 in order to gain admission? What is your thought on that now?
I definitely think that the universities will surely come out with some minimum eligibility of the board percentage for children to be able to apply in a particular course in a particular college. That surely is going to happen, goes without saying. But what shall be that cutoff will definitely depend from college to college, university to university. Even the courses can have a different kind of a minimum percentage required. So, as far as the first part of the question is concerned, the disadvantage, I think, see, we are talking about all the schools that are connected here are CBSE schools, and NCERT is the book that we follow. So maybe the schools that do not, maybe the boards which have a different curriculum, they might feel a disadvantage here, because the NTA circular clearly says that the second domain is absolutely based on the NCERT. So that disadvantage, I do feel. I am not very well versed with the curriculum of the other boards. I do not know what kind of a difference is there. But NCERT people can have an advantage if the other students are not following the same.
Okay, but entrance per se, you are saying that it is good. And when you consider for the admissions, let us say that the top colleges want to take, based on both the cutoff as well as the entrance rank, you are saying that it is good.
There are two things probably that I can visualize as of now, sir. One is that they might have a minimum cutoff as an eligibility for entrance along with the score of CUET. Other is probably having some weightage given to the percentage of CBSE and add on the score of CUET. So I think that the universities must be deliberating upon.
Okay, fine. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Though this is an informal discussion, I will keep adding some points to the questions, because I am also keen to understand your views. Of course, being an administrative officer in the university. So next is to Shalini ma'am. Ma'am, welcome back. After the technical glitch, we saw the most
That was,
technical glitch today. See, again, when you talk about an entrance exam, naturally we will see that there is a lot of people who are interested in training the students, right? Again, typically the coaching institutions or tuition centers. So suppose if the students who are really passionate and students who have been aiming for the past 2 years, 3 years to join the best college in the country with by scoring maximum marks in that qualifying exam, that is of course in CBSE or board exams. I mean board exams. Now suddenly there is a shift. There is a shift from this to the entrance test. Now you have almost like 2 to 3 months. So I am sure that a lot of institutions might have started something like, crash courses. So crash course to, because parents also want their ward to be on the top, best score or best rank. So how do you think that shift is? Because somebody who was aiming to gain the top 99% and enter DU for the past 3 years, they might have set the goal, right? But what would be their feeling now? Is it going to be give an equality among the children who were aiming to enter the college through the cutoff mark, or is it going to help the students who are now in a place where they can just go for crash course and can be in the top college? What do you think about that?
What I feel is that everybody would be doing what they have to do. The children who were just aiming for CBSE marks, they were thinking that they will be able to get good colleges. Those children will take up crash courses also because they want to do the best. But ultimately, what I feel over here, if you're talking about equality and the equity, I would believe that we are all preparing for our best. So children, sometimes they do very good in entrances and they are not very good scorers, top scorers of marks in the CBSE or maybe in the board exams. So now this opportunity is open for all the boards. Only you should have that basic NCERT backup and you will be going for it. Now, at times we see a child lands up in a very good college with a very good percentage, but later in life we see that the child is not doing something very great. But we see that a child who is an average scorer, maybe 70, 75%, maybe lesser, 60, 65% is doing very good, has not been to a very best college, but doing good with life experiences. So what I somehow feel is that this entrance is going to give an edge to the students who were not able to cram and get marks, but they have a good understanding of the subject and topic. And on the other way, the children who are very good at cramming exams, of course, they will be taking up crash courses and they will again land up in a good college. But what they make out of their life later on is a big question. So either way, if this business is going to bloom, even for a central CTET and teachers eligibility test. I was amazed when I was giving that test for the first time that there are so many centers for it. And I was amazed that, okay, you plan for this also. And when I came to Haryana, I had another shock. Every second shop was an HTET training center. So this is going to come up. This is a shop which is going to come up.
Okay, Mohan sir, your thoughts on this?
Definitely, actually, to overcome all these issues, whether these centers are going to be come up or not, but school have to take initiative. Means like the pre-board examination we are conducting or whatever the terminal examination we are conducting, we have to plan in such a way so that we can prepare the student for the CUET also. I think this is the measure that we have to take all collectively. And moreover, we have to develop various skills among the student also. Might be it is critical thinking or problem solving or whatever the various that are related with the things, so that confidence level of the student can be built up to face such type of competitive examination. Over.
Okay. Okay, sir. So I'll just give you a typical example what we face in our university. For example, in the south, Tamil Nadu has been objecting for the entrance exam, and even now they have passed a resolution in the assembly going against NEET. So we have applicants from all the states, but what we have observed is the students who join from our state. I am sitting in Tamil Nadu, and those students who join our engineering program, they really excel in academics. They are not competitive enough to crack the entrance exam, but once they come into the academic system, they perform well compared with those who had a very good rank, but they are not performing well. So, which means that the mindset of the students are tuned towards cracking the entrance examinations. Now, I'm 100% sure that a similar kind of scenario will evolve over a period of time, even in the case of CUET, because we are just starting now. Now, let us say if we are able to reserve some seats for those students, will that work out? Or is it a good practice to reserve the students, or we should go completely with the merit? Pooja ma'am, let me start with Pooja ma'am.
I didn't get the question, sir. Reserve the seats for the. Are we talking
See,
about
for example, for example, we have a concept called state quota, which NITs follow. Okay, so can the institutions reserve a set of seats for some states, something like that, or it has to be based on the complete one single ranking?
I think many of the universities do have this kind of domiciles quotas which are given away.
Yeah.
See, everything has. I think the planners make a policy keeping this in mind that maybe the states or the children of that particular state can take an advantage. If I've got the question right, I would like to give an example. For the medical students, there are reservations for the Delhiites in the Delhi,
Exactly.
in the medical colleges of Delhi. Many of the Haryana students would go and take up dummy admissions in the Delhi NCR region because they feel they become eligible to, take advantage of that quota which is given. I personally am dead against any kind of reservations. I have my own theories for that. I feel, yes, CUET can prove to be a kind of a disadvantage for children who do not have access to being trained in logical reasoning or numerical aptitude. But then I think my personal opinion is that the CUET could have been, implemented maybe after a year or so when the children were thoroughly, prepared and mentally they were geared to have, attempted for an entrance and not just the merit of the CBSE for the admissions. Yes, I feel I come back to what Shalini ma'am just said. The coaching centers will surely take an advantage. The moment there is an entrance, they are mushrooming with the so-called crash courses. So all said and done, I feel there will be a disadvantage, but then that disadvantage is existed even in the other system of admission. I feel that there shouldn't be quotas. The quotas are still there in many admissions, in many courses in many universities, even now. So probably the NTA clearly says that we are testing the numerical aptitude only up to class 8. But I think as teachers, we all will agree how many of us have taught our students on this objective pattern of numerical aptitude till class 8. We were teaching them something very different. I mean, in a very different way. We were assessing them in a very different way. Now, after 4 years that the child has done his 8th and we take him back to class 8 and say कि वो याद करो 8th में तुमने पढ़ा था, अब 1 mark का question आएगा. I think it definitely will help the coaching industry.
Yeah, very true, very true. So, Shalini ma'am, your thoughts on this, and adding to this, let me ask one more question. See, when you talk about the quota system, and if we have, let us assume that a quota system is implemented, but on the other hand, when you talk about the gap in the sense that some students are not able to access the best training, but they are very good in learning, and a set of students are able to access the coaching and they crack the entrance exam, they get into the best college. Now, to that category who doesn't have the access, is it possible that the school can provide something? Is it possible that the school can support in training and bringing them up? Is that possible?
Of course, it is possible. We only have to have a team ready for it. It cannot be done always in the classes, but we have to have a team ready for it, and the school teachers could be equipped and they could help out the students in this manner. Of course they can. There's nothing which cannot be done. It can be done, but the only thing is that our basis is more about clearing of concepts. And when the children who don't have this opportunity, if they are many in the school, there should be a cell, a training cell which should give them a particular sort of training. Yes, it is possible in school.
Okay, and do you think that reserving some seat for the states or reserving some seat for a special category or separate category, reserving seat for a particular category, is that a good practice?
I don't believe.
Okay, it has to be based on the merit.
I always believe in merit. I believe there should be no reservation anywhere.
Okay.
It should be on merit. What best if they have to give it, they should give education free to all. The base.
Okay. I think again, Shalini ma'am, we have lost her now. Again, connection, there is some connection issue. Mohan sir. Yeah, would like to hear from you also, sir.
Just hold on, please. I'm having some problem. Yeah, on this issue, actually, I want to add that no doubt that a coaching center is going to have an edge, not a problem. But the thing is like this, as I quoted earlier also, because student is going to be in a new experience, that is CUET. And definitely it will improve their basic skeleton also in the coming years. Means when the school system start doing the things in favor of CUT, or they will make the student sensible with regard to all these things. Might be the student, various student or junior students start their thinking skills or try to change their whole criteria right from the junior classes. I think in the coming time it is going to be beneficial for the student. No doubt, in the current session, there's going to be a setback for the student because mentally I think they are not so prepared, and on the spot they have to be in the competitive examination. But in the coming years, it will definitely help the student to come up with the competitive level.
But do you think that the schools can play a critical role in bringing up those children who they don't have the access to the coaching?
Definitely. We forgot one thing, that now YouTube is the biggest coaching center. Yeah, because from the last 2 or 3 years, we are using it in a comprehensive way. Particularly the students who are using the IIT, JEE or NEET examinations. Because myself, even personally, I'm teaching chemistry in 11th and 12th by finding the 2 period in a day. So I'm giving the links of the YouTube myself to the student, that for this topic you can go on this link and this link. It depends upon the horizon of the student, actually, what the student wants, the determination of the student. A lot of motivation, I think, is required for the student to tackle all these things, and it is just possible on the ground level. It is nothing to be worried that coaching center, if we don't have the coaching center around us, so we can't. No, it's such type of things, I think, because I'm sitting in 40 kilometers away from the major city, and our students are doing in the past and they are doing now even. So I think it depends on the horizon and capability, determination, motivations, and so many factors which are related with all these issues. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So let me just throw some light on the exam pattern. When we look at the examination pattern, the syllabus, the marks, etc., what I have seen is that there is also a language test. So will that create a kind of bias, or what is the kind of contribution it has in the admission process? And is it good for the students or will there be a scenario where some students will get some advantage? Pooja ma'am.
Sir, out of the entire set of sections of the CUET, one thing I really admire about them is the language part. So I think as per the NEP also this was mandated. Now, this kind of an understanding or a perception that only children who are good in English can be successful will fade away with this kind of section 1A and section 1B set of languages that the child can opt for. I personally feel that the first set, that is the mandatory section of the language, out of the 13 languages given, child can choose any one. This rather will give a level fair ground for competition to children across various states, and that truly will bring that unity in diversity where children are competing despite the difference of the mother tongue or the different of medium of instructions that they have studied. So this particular thing I feel is a reasonably good thing out of the entire format. Even in the second part of the 1B part of the languages, it is it's an optional paper, only to be taken if the child wants to undergo a program in the language courses only. So I think fair enough, it really makes sense that ways. I think it is a good thing.
Okay, but you don't think that it will be beneficial for somebody who has very good command over the language, not in the domain subjects?
This being the section 1A being a compulsory language that the child has to choose, I think the students can choose the subject or the language in which they are strong. They feel that they can attempt the comprehension part better than any other language. Talking about the domains, which is the second part of our CUET, these are the subjects from which the child chooses. So I definitely feel that these two are different things, and will not be a hurdle for the students not having English as the medium of instructions, yet they'll be competing with the students of that kind of, so probably the English medium students will not have an advantage here.
Okay, great. Shalini ma'am, your thoughts on this?
Okay, this is a very good opportunity because language had always been a barrier for students if they are not good in English, or they are not able to come across, or maybe from a Bengali background or Kannada background, and if they are not good in English, they usually think that we won't be able to compete. But here is a chance where they are getting to compete. Yes, they get across very well if they have one language which is common to everybody, like we have an international language as English is. But the best part out of it is at least they are getting the opportunity, and language could be learned. It could be learned even at a later age if you want to express yourself. So for me, myself being a language teacher, language trainer, I believe if you're good at one language, you can be very good at other two. So by and by, it could be taken out. The best part of the entrance is that you are able to compete in a language where you understand the question very well. Half of the time, the essence of the question is lost if you don't understand the question. Now, if I understand, I'm good at Odia, and I understand the question well in Odia, I'm going to answer it well. That is more important. So this way, it is going to help out a lot.
Okay, great. So I think we will have the final round here. I would like to ask Pooja ma'am, since you are from SRCC, a $1 million question. Suppose if you are made the in charge of admissions with SRCC, what model of admissions will you choose? Will you go by completely by CUET rank, or will you consider the +2 marks also?
I'll just correct, sir. I am a product of LSR, that's Lady Shriram College, and not SRCC.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
So if I was given this opportunity to decide on the criteria of admissions, the kind of philosophy I've seen in the DU is I will not go by CUET alone. I will definitely give advantage, some weightage or some cutoff for the CBSE. There is a reason for that. The CBSE is testing you on your knowledge gained over 2 years, that is 11th and 12th. All said and done, yes, I agree that the NTA says that class 8 takka syllabus and everything, yet it is a one-shot game in the CUET. For any reason, if it doesn't work out for the student, the child might lose that session. So I think only to have a fair fielding ground and a playing ground for the students, my personal take would be to have weightages given to both.
Okay. Mohan sir, do you want to counter Pooja ma'am, or will you agree to that?
Definitely. Actually, what happened last year in Delhi University and why CUET on the ground? The student in Kerala board scored maximum 100%
Yes,
in the
yes,
country.
yes.
And this is the reason why the problem was faced during the admission and cut off 100% in many streams over there.
Right.
So I think if we introduce this percentage, +2 percentage along with the CUET, again the same scenario is going to be happen, might be. So I think CUET is going to be challengeable for each and every student, and I think no doubt in the present session might be there is going to be problem for the student, but for the incoming timing it is going to be wonderful. It is going to be perfect.
So you're saying that a CUET rank alone is enough?
Yeah, in my view, CUET is okay, but minimum eligibility is going to be there for the board examinations. And as per you have seen the circular, many universities set up the minimum percentage. Many universities are going to set up the minimum percentage, that is 80% or 70% or 50%.
Okay,
but I don't think.
Yeah, to be honest, I will agree with Pooja ma'am, because I have seen the students struggling for both the CBSE exam as well as the entrance test. So if you are able to give some sort of equal, almost like equal weightage to both, I think a good number of students will have some advantage over CBSE. I think that will help a lot of good students with very good academic records rather than cracking entrance exam. That is my view. Shalini ma'am, your take.
My take is the same. We would like our school board examination to have that value. But yes, the cutthroat competition which it has created and getting 100% marks for an entrance, how dejected you feel even if at 90 you're not able to get a good college. And then you get all the brain drain to Canada, Australia. You send all your children, pack them and send them there. This is very hurtful for me. As a principal, as a teacher, it is very bad. So advantage of the boards and the entrance exam should be taken considerably well. 50% is fair enough of both. It's good.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for agreeing. And finally, let me start with Mohan sir. Sir, we have almost like 100 participants here. So from your point of view, what is the key takeaway for their next academic session? Because now all these schools are almost closed and they are gearing up for the next academic year along with the examinations. So when they aim for 2023, the students who aim for 2023, that is 1 year later, what is your key takeaway? What is your message to all the participants here in case the students are aiming to go through CUET?
In order to prepare for the CUET for the coming session, students have to check the learning outcomes. They have to strengthen their skills in the various categories, like have to develop the critical thinking and problem solving, and moreover the self-management, which is supposed to be the key factor for any competitive examination. Have to set up a very better, good communication with the stakeholders, whether they are teachers or whether the digital content, or have to develop information and communication technology literacy. This is much more now, as everybody know that IT sector is going to be deciding nowadays. So we can't exist now without the IT sector. Global awareness is also the key factor, that we have to aware what is happening around us. So all around development of the student is required, and that is possible only when we motivate the child exclusively. And you have seen the scenario in which the students are nowadays. A lot of things, no doubt CUET is going to be helpful, but only to those students who are able to control their mental level, who are control their self-awareness things. And I think so. Please.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Shalini ma'am.
Ji, yes, tell me. My take on this.
Now, what is your key message? Because all the teachers here are eagerly waiting to have some takeaway from this discussion. So they let them plan for 1 year. Let them plan for the students passing out in 2023 and those who aim to attend the CUET. So what is your golden message to all these participants?
See, I have very few words and I want to tell you that please, all of you, put your emphasis on concept building. See that the children have their concept very clear. And learning is something which can come by and by. So build their concepts very well, and before them, make sure that you are imparting the right thing to them. If you're not sure, please check it again. And we golden people out there, oh, golden boys and girls, give them the correct education. Build their concepts very strong, and I believe they would be able to qualify for anything in this world, not even our tests for colleges, but anything in the world. Thank you.
Pooja ma'am.
But in addition to what the two learned principals have said, I would like to say that we were, suddenly in a situation of pandemic, and all the teachers, we sort of transformed ourselves into superheroes, and we were able to reach out to the homes through online classes, and we taught very well. The learning did not stop. So I'm sure we'll be able to rise to the occasion. Let's accept the CUET is here. So let's definitely, along with that conceptual teaching that we do, let's change our way of assessment and evaluation. Every time, we would tell our children, you must read the newspaper, you must be updated with the headlines. Now we have also have a reason to tell them that the newspaper has to be read because it will be tested in the CUET. So with that additional armory that we have in our hand, we can reinforce all those logical current affairs, GK things and English comprehension things, and reach out to our students with all our preparation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Mohan sir, and thank you, Shalini ma'am, for this wonderful conversation. I think though there were technical glitches, I think we have been able to do the best in spite of these issues. And please, participants, please wait for the next sessions on the same topic, CUET. We will be deliberating more and more on this so that the teachers can start preparing rightly pointed by our esteemed panelists here. So by that, let me conclude today's session. Thank you so much for patient listening. Thank you so much, panelists, for the wonderful insights you have given. And I am 100% sure that the participants will certainly, take those words, have the takeaways, and start practicing. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, the panelists. It was nice sharing with you, and lovely teachers for listening us the entire evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.